Aliens is coming back as an FX series. Now, we talked about this before, but, Alien actually is shutting down officially due to the WGA and the SAG-AFTRA strike. Now, that's a bad thing. We've talked about how many productions have shut down. This was actually shooting in Bangkok since actually July, which it was a whole thing where they had no real SAG-AFTRA actors, and there was actually a clause that was going around saying that if you were part of the British trade union and that or an equity itself, you were technically supposed to keep shooting. Now, even if you were SAG before, they were saying that it could be a breach of contract and you can't just support your people; they could fire you. But now they had another actor signed on, American Chandler, and they were saying because of him, they're changing the whole thing. They also actually got Shadow and Bone. Kit Young just came on to be a part of the cast. But because of all that, they officially shut down. They sent all their cast home, and they're officially done shooting for now. I guess people are kind of going nuts about it because people want to see what this is going to be. And it sounds like it's going to be a good show, but they're still building sets in Thailand right now, hoping the strike will be worked out fast enough they can get back to work. But to me, I wouldn't hold their breath, and I would say you might want to send those crew home for a little bit because they're probably be hanging out for a while because I don't think the strike's in any time soon.
It's not efficient to send crew home. It's not efficient to keep renting the soundstage right. I'm really curious of what you guys are both in the union. I'm curious how you guys feel about this or what you think is necessarily going on. Did they just film every possible bit that they could without the principal actors?
Yes, I think that's what it was. I honestly think it was. They probably tried to do his best. They probably figured, we'll see what happened. They had a production start date and they probably just started shooting around them. They were still casting at the same time. So they started before everybody was cast, which is weird too, to me. And so probably because the writer's strike was happening, what can we do?
Every scene doesn't have every person. You don't need to have your entire cast when you start shooting something.
And they must have had the whole thing written, right, Sabrina, to make this happen? Because normally
one would hope, in accordance to the WGA strike, yes, one would hope that it was written.
Highly doubt it.
I highly doubt it too, Sean.
Highly doubt it.
I highly doubt it too. But I think it's a cool idea. It's a prequel to the whole series. It's taking place on Earth before all of it. I mean, there's a lot of stuff happening with this. There's actually 2 Alien series that are going into production. So this is just one of 2. And this one's supposed to be Ridley Scott's still an executive producer on it. Of course he is. That's his whole franchise, his bread and butter. He freaking is. Of course I've named all that, I also heard he actually has a 4.5-hour cut Napoleon right now that he has with Joaquin Phoenix. He's going to start putting out there for people to see, which I think is crazy. But 4.5 hours, who's going to... Get it, Joaquin,
Leaf? Yeah. You mean Leaf?
Leaf, yeah. Good old Leaf. It used to be Leaf. We talked about that before in the show.
Leaf isn't Joaquin.
His name used to be Leaf.
Just like Linkley.
His name used to be Leaf Phoenix.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
all right. When they were in
Leaf,
the commune in South America
very
or whatever
hippy-dippy,
was going on.
Vegan, granola crunchy family. His name used to be Leaf.
But before we move on, I know Mike was saying before we started that he was excited about this. So Mike, what makes you so excited about this new series coming to FX?
Well, number one, I'm jealous because I was talking with my wife about this before we began filming, and she's like,
"Shout out to Lynn."
Shout out to Lynn.
Yeah, she'll be back. She'll be back. She's ready to come back. She mentioned she did a name check of Michael Fassbender is who she wants to see come back. So, I agree with her. I don't know. He's stepping on my vibe, so I'm gonna need him to take a step back. And then we can each continue with our lives separately. Do
you have a touch of jealousy for the Fassbender?
I want him back too. I want him back too.
It doesn't sound like it's a Ryan Reynolds thing.
I was going to ask if he's a Ryan Reynolds thing.
He's my Magneto.
As you open your jacket and shake it a little bit, make it a little hot and bothered there, Mike.
The vapors.
I'm gonna tell you what. There's a movie called Fishbowl that Michael Fassbender is in, and it is spectacular. It's an English movie. Out of the woman who wrote it, also there's a passion piece. The movie itself is good and interesting, but he is spectacular. Don't let Lynn see it because he looks real hot with his shirt off in that movie. I will tell you what. I don't even think he's attractive, and I was like, what?